So a popular online marketplace for all things vintage and handmade has updated its policies. The changes are supposed to be for the better, so why are users of Etsy so frustrated, and what does it all mean for you? That's tonightsdaily.com.
Typically, when there's change, you can draw a line right down the middle and have people standing on both sides. Some will be pleased with the changes, others not so pleased. And such is the case tonight with Etsy. Etsy is known for everything from crocheted Halloween pumpkins to vintage engagement rings. Since the beginning, it's focused on the sale of handmade goods. But figuring out what constituted a handmade good quickly became a challenge over time. Etsy said it often heard from sellers that the site's previous policies were confusing, restrictive, and intrusive. Some sellers worked long hours to maintain a one-person shop. Others began to bend the rules. Some simply gave up and left. As a result, there's now more transparency around how items are actually made. We're talking some new guidelines here. Sellers are now free to hire help as long as they provide details about their workforce. They can also use shipping services and apply to have their products made by manufacturers. And therein lies the problem for some of the million active sellers on Etsy who argue, how can something truly be handmade if it's not created solely by the seller? That frustration, some entrepreneurs have left Etsy, taking their business elsewhere to competitors like Zibit.com. In the meantime, Etsy is standing by the new policies, which, by the way, go into effect in January.
Now, just yesterday, a webcast was held for users to vent their concern and frustration, and I read some of those comments, a lot of them out there. The users are pretty clear. They just don't think the site should be used for selling goods that are not made by hand. But on Twitter, you've got the mixed reviews. Ted tweets, big congrats to Etsy for modernizing their seller policy, while another person says, not so happy with the direction Etsy is going in as it moves further away from truly homemade. What do you think?